Hey everybody, Harold here. Today I want to talk to you about the DAX functions called percentile. There's four of them. They're little used and little known, I think, but they're pretty powerful. I was doing some SQL window functions the other day. I haven't been into SQL for a while. I've been doing a lot of DAX, but DAX is built on SQL. And if you are really interested in getting further into DAX and you don't know SQL already, you should probably learn it. That being said, in SQL, there's window functions called intile and percent rank, which will break your data like your sales into uh, buckets based on their percent rank. So if you wanted four buckets, it would make it the first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, fourth quartile, like bottom 25, second 25, third 25, and then top 25%. You can use intile and percent rank in SQL to do that. So I'd heard there was this function, but I hadn't really used it a lot before. These functions, they're called percentile. I want to show you something real quick here. If you look at my screen, I'm in DAX query view. I've got evaluate, and this is a function here, info.functions, takes no argument, uh, and gives you a list of all the DAX functions. So instead of going to DAX guide, this is a little simpler than DAX guide, but here are the four functions I'm talking about. Percentile.x or exclusive, percentile.inc or inclusive, percentile.x exclusive, and percentile.x inclusive. Definitions are returns the kth exclusive or inclusive percentile of values in a column for these, and expression in a table for these. So the arguments are a little bit different. This one takes a column argument. This one takes an expression argument, which could be a measure. Kth just means whatever number. It's just a dummy parameter. If you want 4 and you want the first quartile, the k is 0.25, so on and so forth. Exclusive means that's at or below. So exclusive is everything below 25%. Inclusive is everything at or below 25%, including. The other difference is percentile.x includes blanks in the calculation, and percentile does not. So if your data has blanks and you don't want them to be included in the calculation, use percentile. So all that being said, let's go over to table view. I've got a table here of customer sale date. These are 2022 sales for these companies. Here's their sales, sale date. I want to know by sale amount what quartile their sales fall into. So first I need to know something like, let's go back to report view and we'll make a new measure on our 2022 sales table. And we could say test percentile equals percentile. Just use percentile.INC on this one. The column, I want the sales column in my 2022 sales table. 2022 sales, and I need to give it the K value. We'll do 0.25. Get the first quartile, the bottom 25%. Let's commit that measure. And let's put it in this box here, this card. test percentile. So 0.25% at the bottom quarter starts at 94.75. Let's sort these descending. So between 9,400 and 9,500. So it's in the bottom. Anything below that, these two are in the first quartile. What if we wanted to say 0.5? And you don't have to do quartiles. You could do halves, quintiles by zero point 0.2, zero point 0.4, tenths by 0.1, 0.2. Let's do a zero point 0.5 here. So test percentile here is 10,250. As you can see, I have 8 values. So the median of these values, if it was an odd number, it'd be the middle number, but the median is the halfway between the average, the mean of the middle two values. So 0.5 is the median. Another nifty statistical thing. So I can, instead of 0.5, if I just want to split them in half, I can do above or below the median. Same thing. Oh, median doesn't take the K argument. Sorry about that. So without the K argument, median 10,250, same as 0.5 in percentile. And I could go on and do 0.75. I mean, just for proof this is working, we say, and I'm doing Percentile.INC, so this should include the top value. 1 should get the max. Yep. Okay, so that seems to be working good, but okay, you know those numbers. So what do you do with them? I kind of hinted when I said you could check if it's above or below the median. Well, uh, now we can use them in a switch statement. We can make a new column to break up the data into different buckets, percentiles, and call those, say, quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, quartile 4, and then do some graphing with that, some visuals. So you could use bins to do this, but I find the bins hard to work with. If I want 4 bins, I'll do quartiles. If I want 10 bins, I'll do zero point 0.1, etc. So let's say I want to break the 2022 sales into quartiles based on sales amount. Like, are they in the fourth, bottom 25%, or third, second, or first? I can go, let's do this in table view. Table tools, new column. Not going to get too fancy here, but I am going to use some vars to make it a little more readable. So I could say quartiles. Let me take my caps lock off. I could say quartiles equals, and get some vars. Let's say var qtile 1 equals percentile. We're going to use the x here because we're going to be using an expression. So we'll say percentile x inclusive. And then the table is going to be all 2022 sales. And then the expression is going to be total 2022 sales, which is just sum of sales, 2022 sales. So we have all Let's format this a little. If it's not DAX, if it's not formatted, right, Alberto? So all 2022 sales, total 2022 sales, and then we need our K argument. So quartile 1 would be 0.25. And we close our percentile.X. So let's copy this. I'll space this out a lot, but I like to keep everything big. We're going to go down here. See if I can keep Hit Shift Enter without getting my ugly yellow line. Let's paste it once. And twice. And since we're using switch, we won't need a third one because we'll use the else argument. A fourth one because we'll use the else argument for it. Quartile 2. Change this to 0.50. We need dots. And change this one to 0.75. So there's our vars for quartile 1, 2, and change this to 3. So we have our vars. Shift Enter. Now we need to return something. That's going to be our switch statement. So I'll say switch. If you see me do switch before, in this case, we need the true. Switch this if this is true. So I say switch true. Expression is 2022 2022 sales, total 2022 sales. And we want to say in our first argument if it's greater than quartile 3, 0.75. What do we want it to say? We want it to say it's in the top or fourth quartile. Then we want to copy that. Paste it twice. Change that to third. Change that to 2. See where I'm going. It's not a 3. Change that to second. Change that to 1. So it's above 0.25. If not, below 0.25, at or below 0.25, it's in the first quartile. Then we just have to close our switch. So we said quartiles equals our 3 vars, which the vars are the first, second, and third quartiles of total sales. We used all sales as a table, total 2022 sales as the argument, and 0.25, 0.5, and 0.75 as the K values. Then we returned a switch true. 2022 sales is greater than the value in quartile 3. We want to say fourth quartile, greater than the value in quartile 2. We want to say third quartile. I'm sorry, I got this wrong. So we're going to say second quartile, and then else first quartile. Then close our switch. Okay, so it's greater than quartile 1, second quartile. If it's less than quartile 1, less than or equal to quartile 1, first quartile. And that looks pretty good. Let's commit it and then see what happens. Back to our table view here. Get behind this. Go to another measure. Okay, back to our table view. So you can see now what was our median was 10,500, 10,250. That's the split. The top two are in the fourth quartile. The second two are in the third quartile. The third two are in the second quartile, and the fourth two are in the first quartile. So it's split it evenly into 4 even buckets, split by the median, and then the median of that group. And if you keep going down, it'll median that group, so on and so forth. So now you can go to visuals, and let's drop our quartiles column in there. Let's put it in, well, that's fine. Just expand this a little bit. We don't need to see this guy. So, well, let's turn it into a table. Might be easier to view than a matrix. So here's our table. Let's make it a line, a cluster bar chart. So fourth quartile, total sales. Now you can see what you can do with this. Probably looks better in a column chart. Cluster column chart. Yep, there you go. So that's what you can do with percentile, percentile.X, inclusive, exclusive, and we even took a look at median too, because that's 0.5 percentile. So I hope you guys like this. I hope you get something out of it. If you do like it, please like it and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.